every year around the NFL, around this time, there are certain teams that come out and propose rule changes around the NFL. And the Cleveland Browns really are going to lean into forget them picks with their recent proposal to the NFL. And we also have the Pittsburgh Steelers proposing a new rule change for the legal tampering period. And man, the NFL might not be trying to pay their referees. We remember what happened last time, right? Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. So if you're tuned in, locked in, and love talking that football talk, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and join the family. Steve-O, what's the word?
What's the word?
Man, rule changes, and it's a lot of crazy ones. Well, not a lot of crazy ones. One crazy one, in my opinion, one really, really interesting in the NFL trying to figure out some stuff. But let's kick this thing off by talking about the Cleveland Browns proposing a rule change that will change the NFL and really have teams saying F those picks. Steve-O. So according to certain reports, the Cleveland Browns are proposing a NFL change that will allow teams to trade picks, not for the next 3 seasons, but a span of 5 seasons. Here's their reasoning. They said it will create more creative trade structures that better mirror the valuations of both draft selections and players, increase the liquidity of draft capital, which support league-wide parity, improve alignment with contract and salary cap cycles, and encourage a more active trade market, end quote. Steve-O, how you feeling about this trade proposal from the Browns, bro?
2 things. It don't help the money situation because I don't see how. That's going to be a cap hell for a lot of teams. And that's going to change the market for a bunch of positions. It's going to change the market for just the league in general. And it's already hard enough trying to understand the cap salary and what you can do and what you can't do. The money in the NFL is already not as simple as it already is. So adding 5+ picks on top of that, you're going to break the league 1 year. And nobody got time for that. 2, why is y'all trying to do this?
Because
y'all ass can't do shit the right proper way. You can't even draft motherfuckers, period. So what you need to go out there and trade 5 of them to go get a player because we seen you go trade for a motherfucker Deshaun Watson. How that turned out?
Ooh.
Y'all need to learn how to just become a decent football organization before y'all don't need no help from no league with nothing.
Facts.
Because quite frankly, I don't see how this move necessarily help you. Yeah, it would help you. Yeah, you're in Cleveland. You don't necessarily have the market that everybody's going to want to go to. So if you do have 5 picks that you necessarily don't care about, and you see a player that you want, yeah, I get that. But then again, like I said, you talking about it makes more sense for the cap than how.
Yeah.
The cap is set up for so many years, not 5+, not 5+ trades. So I don't see how they're gonna make that work. I really don't. I think this is a desperate organization that just can't figure out how to find a way to win, and they trying to grasp at straws to see if they can find a pin cushion way in to just find a way to win. Because that's essentially what it says to me. I can't draft nobody. I can't sign nobody. So give me the most ample amount of opportunity to sign somebody so I can get them up in.
I think there's some validity to that statement, but here's my theory on why they bringing this proposal. They want somebody to be stupid enough to trade for Myles Garrett for 5 first-round picks. That's what they want. They want the ability to have 5 years of 2 first-round picks potentially. And I'm gonna side with you, bro, on let's not complicate what's already working. We know if you're a team that's in the top 10 and want to move up to get the first overall pick, typically the consensus is 2 first-round picks and a player. We know that's the consensus and we know that's the market. Sometimes you might get a team to go a little overboard, but limited it into 3 years allows that team to recover. 5 years, in my opinion, would not allow many teams to recover because we know how coveted first-round picks are.
Mm-hmm.
Browns to go out there and try to propose this is laughable because in reality, I think they're just trying to say, hey, if we can get this rule in, we can tell teams we want 5 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. That's what they doing. So don't try to complicate this. We see, look, I ain't trying to crap on the league. We see the complications with trading in the NBA, and be quite frank with you, it's stupid. Why do salaries have to match if I can absorb the salary within my cap salary, my cap space? It's so stupid. They have so many complications in the NBA, it makes trading stupid. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL, it's simple. Keep it simple. Let's not try to make this thing harder than what it is. And we love every single year to where you see a team go from worst to first. It's a great storyline. It's great for parity. It's great to have revolving teams in the playoffs every single year, or having people that's fighting for wild card who is just, let's just say, in the conference championship game. Trading 5 first-round picks, bro. I don't think it creates more parity. It's going to create more stupidity, in my personal opinion, from aggressive young GMs.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you. Like I said, I just think at the end of the day, it's just going to complicate things. Like it's finally at a place where you can, like you said, it's a perfect place where teams can recover if they do make a move that they necessarily don't fulfill down the line. 5 years, I don't know. I don't know if you can recover after, let's say, 3 out of those 2 years, you fuck up 3 first-round picks. Exactly. I don't know if you're going to recover after that because 9 times out of 10, you're going to bend the pay probably 2 of them. And then out of that, okay, now you got 2 contracts you can't really get rid of or necessarily trade. You just going to put yourself in a predicament. You can put somebody else in a predicament. And once again, I just don't think there's going to be too many NFL teams stupid enough to be like, let me get 5 picks for a player or 5 picks for this deal or 5. Like, there's not too many. I think they learned from the NBA with Rudy Gobert. Shit. That's for real, still, bro. We still looking at as that's probably still talked about as one of the most stupidest trade packages of all time.
Yeah, bro. It just don't make sense. Like with certain things, like don't overcomplicate this game. Don't overcomplicate this game that makes sense, that has so much parity every single year. In other leagues, it's damn near the same team making the playoffs every year. The NFL, at least on average, if I remember correctly, they have at least 4 or 5 teams new in the playoffs every single year. How much parity do you want? You don't want parity. Apparently, he wants stupidity, in my personal opinion, whoever proposed this.
Cleveland.
So, I know it ain't the damn owner who told the world, I ain't draft Shador. But hey, Steve-O, really good talk about the Browns. Now let's talk about the Steelers. Now, Steve-O, I will say, I believe this is a really good rule change that the Steelers are implementing. See, this is coming from a competent organization, but the rule proposal is they want the NFL to allow teams to contact up to 5 unrestricted free agent prospects during the legal tampering period before the official signing day. So for those that remember correctly, the legal tampering period this year was on a Monday and Tuesday with the guys that agreed to all the stuff. They signed on Wednesday. So the Steelers are saying, let us talk to the actual players instead of their agents, or we can work with them. And we only get one phone call or one Zoom call, and we'll report everything to the league. And I think this is actually really good. Steve-O, how you feeling about this rule?
I like it. Quite frankly, I like the move because it's going to knock out a lot of the bullshit out the way. Because for one, it's going to knock down a lot of shit we just seen with Trey Hendricks and Max Crosby, because they're going to be able to talk about that early and be like, all right, I ain't talking to your age, I'm talking to you. Fuck wrong with your knee. This, there. All right, then we can make our decision from there. It ain't gonna be a whole waiting process. Me getting to Baltimore, me not talking to the GM for 5 hours. We ain't gonna worry about that. And like I always said, in either sport, the tampering rule is always a bit touchy because niggas tampering. That's just how it is. If you, especially in the NBA, like if you see a trade go down that actually goes down, 9 times out of 10, they've been talking for months. That's how a trade normally goes down. You see if there's some interest in either camp. How you figure that out? You got to reach out to the player or that organization.
Yeah.
And my thing is, it only becomes a problem when another team finds out, because between those two teams, it's not tampering because they cool with it.
Right.
So I think it just it opens, it broadens up the tampering rules, in my opinion, so they won't necessarily get in trouble. I think honestly, this is something the NBA definitely should be looking at, because I feel like it's way more talking to players when it comes to that. But yeah, I think it just gives. It's almost the NFL kind of looks out and is more reasonable with the rules changing when it comes to the NFL, because they can understand, like, if I'm looking at Max Crosby 9 times out of 10, I've been talking to Max Crosby for a little minute.
Right. And I would say that, like, if they would have, let's just say for the sake of discussion, hyperbole, that on Monday when they was allowed to interview the 5 prospects, even though he wasn't unrestricted free agent, but let's say he was, Max Crosby could have felt the temperature from them before he even flew out to DC and had to drive 2 hours. Fuck. I'm still ticked off about that. That's a superstar. You supposed to get.
They didn't fly that. Wait. They didn't fly that nigga to Baltimore.
He had to fly to another damn airport and drive to the facility.
They didn't get him a driver.
No.
I ain't gonna lie. The signs. Will they tell you the signs be there?
I just did the video yesterday, bro. I just did it.
The signs.
I was mad you couldn't make it, but man, I was like, bro, superstar is supposed to get superstar treatment. The fuck? Like, y'all treat him like he just some regular degular coming to sign a 1-year deal. Like, it was crazy.
Kick returner on my mama.
No, the real. Fuck a punter. Long snapper or some shit. Like,
wow.
It was crazy. So I was like, man, it's just all lined up. But back to the point, if he would have been able to have that phone call, that Zoom call early, we could have, you know what I'm saying? He could have been like, nah, I ain't feeling it. Don't trade for me. Or nah, I ain't feeling it. I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? I don't like y'all energy, whatever. I know that's a little bit, twisting the rules a little bit, but yeah, man, I think this is a good proposal though from the Steelers to the NFL. And Steve-O, surprisingly, nobody's trying to ban the tush push this year.
I think after last year it was final, motherfucker. If you can't beat it, oh well, shit.
But it wasn't. Well, I think they had a couple hiccups too last year.
They did.
They
I mean, I think
line drop a little bit.
I think they starting to realize is more technique than really in anything, because we seen when they don't have the same old line, it's not that effective.
Agreed.
Once and then you seen people like the Bills implement it because they learned the technique. All it is a rugby scrub.
Yep, I watch rugby in person. That shit cold.
Nigga, I've been watching rugby for years. I'm
physical.
surprised rugby is not as more popular than it already is. Like,
yeah,
rugby,
man, I had a couple homies play it. They love it. They be like, man, you can come out here and play. Be the speed guy on the edge.
I used to have a teacher that played out. The first thing I asked that nigga, I was like, is it worse than football? They was like, bro, it's way better than football.
Yeah, a lot of them
Nobody
say
gets
that.
hurt for real because
Yeah,
we running into bone instead of pads.
yeah,
Pads hurt.
yeah. They
Helmets
call it.
hurt.
The funniest thing ever. The man's like, yeah, this is a gentleman's game. I said a gentleman's game, not the way y'all be out there hitting mugs, but it
But they
is what it
also, but
is.
the thing, they if you look at rugby players that transition to football, they tackle better.
Yeah,
They tackle properly. Yeah.
yeah. They all say that.
I think every football player should at least play rugby once.
Yeah, they all say that. They say we take pride in tackling properly.
Open field, because you got to be able to tackle open field
That's a fact. So,
and tackle a 235-pound motherfucker.
oh, bro,
Motherfucker big to the motherfucker.
for real though. But hey, Steve-O, the NFL got another topic, bro. They can't come to terms with the officials that's currently in the league and are looking at replacement officials. For context, the last time we seen replacement officials, it was a Seattle Seahawks game versus the Green Bay Packers, and Russell Wilson lobbed it to the back of the end zone, and it looks like it was an interception, potentially a touchdown. Those two refs looked lost, looked at each other, and ruled it a touchdown when most people felt like it was an interception to seal the game. I'm saying, NFL, don't do this. Stop being cheap. Y'all are taking this game to new heights. Don't be cheap with these officials, bro. And don't think that you're going to have a solution. Steve-O, they want to bring these guys in April if anything happens, to where I think they train for a couple weeks and then attend a fucking reffing clinic.
No, nigga, do that now.
Like, what are we doing?
That's the problem. Y'all do it now. That's what these niggas should be doing. Fuck their vacation. Get in training now. That's what it should be. All right, we gonna pay y'all what y'all want, but what y'all are gonna do, y'all going back to referee school, because this is unacceptable. Especially a lot of these younger refs. I think that's the main problem. The official refs that you get that Super Bowl that does the playoffs and Super Bowl, I like those refs because they usually they used to it. They know what to call, they know what to look for. These new young ass refs that we bringing in, because I don't think people realize that all the refs we grew up on, they starting to retire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new generation of refs coming in, and a lot of them are younger. Train their ass. And this is the time to be training them. Y'all need to implement a more stricter program, a ref program, because quite frankly, it's not even just a league problem. This is a sports problem.
Agreed.
Then there'd be a fucking ref coalition, and they need to put that shit together.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. So the reports on Yahoo Sports is reading that they want to get them in as early as April and attend a clinic in May. Man, stop playing around with this. Though it's already people ticked off about the officiating in most games. Come on, man. Y'all got to if y'all want to go out there and improve the product, get the guys or keep the product consistent. Make sure y'all stop being cheap, bro. Y'all cap space, salary caps for all teams just went up. The game is going international. Y'all done been to a bunch of locations, adding more locations, bro. Y'all starting and opening the season up on a Wednesday this year, Steve-O. They open it up on a Wednesday, followed by a Thursday night game. And the Wednesday night game is overseas. Stop playing around.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all making money on. Don't be cheap ass now.
Y'all finna have goddamn soccer refs out there, and that bitch is gonna be a flag. The motherfucker gonna throw up a card on accident. Keep it up.
Hey, last thing, Steve-O, this just came through not too long ago. The Vikings signed Carson Wentz to a 1-year deal. I'm not mad at it. It's just like, okay.
I'm surprised the Cardinals didn't swing at him.
Yeah.
Because when he not hurt, he was having a solid year.
Shit, I ain't even gonna lie to you. To me, they appears to be done with
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's be real. This man played games with a screwed up shoulder. So, yeah, like he was literally on the like getting hit and on the sideline wincing because of the pain. So I ain't mad at it, but it adds to that QB room.
It just, I mean,
I think JJ McCarthy days are numbered, bro.
I don't like we always say when it comes to the Vikings. I don't know why you drafted them.
Yep.
It just
Especially
made
if
no
you do
sense.
this. Especially because y'all did this. Y'all just signed 2 quarterbacks that's better than 9. 2.
It to me, it just screams more like I could believe the bullshit from them versus the Cleveland Browns. Maybe somebody did pick them and then everybody else didn't want them. That
Oh, the
sounds
dude
like
gone.
yeah, that's what I'm
Maybe they
saying.
fired the GM.
That's
Question.
what it makes sense. Because at this point, I find it hard to believe McConnell wanted this motherfucker.
That's what it seemed like to me. That's what it seemed like.
It seemed like that GM he believed in J and 9 more than anybody.
But anybody could tell you he didn't throw enough in college.
That motherfucker threw less than Mitchell Trubisky.
Wrapped by a running game, offensive line, and a defense.
And that's
if you could play a whole college game and win and throw it 9 times, it's crazy.
Like I said, I think he started there for 3 years. And I think Mitch Trubisky got more throwing than him in 1 year.
Crazy work.
That should tell you everything.
That should tell you everything you need to know. But hey, man.
And that was only 13 games Mitchell played in.
Bro. But hey, a lot of things we broke down today, man, on the episode. Steve-O, you got anything left?
Hey, man. This is when the NFL gets weird. Because now you just start hearing shit. But we gonna talk about it.
We definitely gonna talk about it. Make sure y'all lock in, man. Our NFL draft coverage starts next week. Breaking down these players and prospects. Make sure you get in line with that. Get in tune with that. It's gonna be a fun breakdown of the NFL draft. Who rises, who falls, who's underrated, who's being overlooked. It's gonna be a lot of fun conversations coming from myself and Steve-O. So y'all make sure y'all lock in. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Again, we don't care who you root for. This is a place to where we can come and talk football because of the love of the game. If you got a rival and they in the chat, in the comments, talk your smack, but you better be able to receive it. If they talk, they smack back. But hey, we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always love football. Get in tune with the NFL Central family. And hey, man, we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break